Right, I've started recording. We'll cut that bit out anyway. I just wanted to get the in case you come out and said something really cool and it was like, oh, I want that.
Yes, but
when you start talking, sometimes I want to just press record because you start going off and telling a really good story.
Yes, it's true. But the thing is, when we are talking, like you know about the history, and even who knows me and who knows really what's happening there, they're going to say, why Romeu is talking good about, and like this.
Sometimes you have to just paint that pretty picture. It's not the right time to open up.
Now the history starts coming in my head here.
Right, guys, welcome back to the Unprofessional Footballer Podcast. We're at episode 9. I said at the end of last episode that we would be having Romeu back. He's here. He's in a new shirt. We've got a nice little black and white polka dot number. Guys, I'm going to rate Romeu's shirt a 9 out of 10 today. Solid shirt. Yes. Romeu, welcome back.
Yes, you cannot say the brand because they are not paying us on time. So we'll give left to the...
Soon the podcast will have a shirt sponsor and we'll start wearing a name brand. Guys, today we're going to finish talking about Romeu's journey. Obviously in the last podcast we got up to, was it the year 2018 with Ormi?
Yes.
2018, he had just finished playing for Ormi. He had finished the later half of the season with Ormi. How did the season end? Just remind us.
For us, I can say this was a very big challenge because I think it's the first time that one club in Premier in the whole first round get only 2 points, I guess. I think they draw 2 times. So when I saw the table, I said, it's impossible. But who knows me knows that I like challenge. I like new targets, and I go for let's go for it. Let's try something because you already have the life, so you have to go for the yes.
Sometimes you learn most about yourself when you put yourself in uncomfortable situations. When you go to unexplored territory, you discover the most about yourself.
Yes.
It is a new way to discover challenges within yourself.
I agree, and I accept as well because I saw there is many Brazilians there, and I say so. Always when there is Brazilians, we can put the mentality that we have, and we don't accept those things to happen. We are near to get, but at least we did a good job.
Who were some of the players on the team with you that season?
So, like today there is Wellington. He's playing. He's come back to Sirens now.
Yeah.
On that time there is Mateus, Cassiano, there is Lucas, and there is Leozinho was injured but was come back, and together with the experience with Freud, a French guy, there is a strike Malera. On that time he was on fire. He was not high ability, but he was scoring, so we cannot say that he was not high ability. If he is scoring,
It's a striker's job, isn't it? You judge them by the goals.
We have some good Maltese as well, and experienced Maltese like Mano Mikalev was guiding us inside and outside of the pitch with his experience about the atmosphere, about dressing room, those things, He was a leader for us.
So the season ended in relegation in the end. And that was the end of your experience with Ormi. What was next for you? I know during that summer, it was the year 2019, and we both ended up on the same summer camp that was run by the Maltese Football Players Association. Now, guys, if you want to learn more about that, we did just cover in episode 7, a podcast with Gianluca Zammit, where we gave a full breakdown on both camps that ran this year and back in 2019. Be sure to check that out if you haven't already. It will be behind us on the screen. But Romeu, how did you end up on that camp? Who was it that you spoke to figure out about it?
Yes, first of all, I always I trust on the people who are there. I mean, the MFP, it's a very good setup to support players. And I was being a member since 2015 or 16, I'm not sure now. And when they come out with the idea, the setup was very professional. I say, so it's time to go there. Because everyone knows that the season here it's like 10 months. So we spent those 2 months without club, and we have to get fit. So since we are member, why not to go for it? Since the setup is very professional.
And there were some very high caliber players on the camp that year. A lot of Premier League players were out of contract. We had a very successful 4 games during that camp. But funny enough, when me and Romeu met, it was only going to be for a very short amount of time, because about 2 or 3 days into the camp, Romeu ended up being signed and was no longer a part of the camp. What happened?
It's true. First of all, I remember me and you, when I meet you, I was speaking with you like he's a foreigner, so let's try something, you know. And then I remember that the coach asked me, a player at Sirens, and I was asking for full back and left back and right, another one since I was playing central back as well, and Maltese. And he told me, yes, I have one good one, but unfortunately he's foreigner. And I keep you in my mind, and I didn't tell the coach. And then when he built the team, he got the players, and then I get to know, I think with that friend, I forgot his name now.
Teshan.
Yes, Teshan told, no, he's Maltese as well. So no, you kick myself, man. I just spoke with the coach that he's foreigner, so it's another plus for us. And then when I realized they got another one, and then football happened, those things.
That could have been it. Me and Romeu on the same team. It would have been a lethal back line.
Yes, it's not about only the quality of the player, but it's about the atmosphere, that and even your mentality, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to. I'm sure that it's going to be successful with us on that time. But unfortunately, I did a mistake. You can put in my account, you know.
I'll accept a check afterwards.
Yes.
Reimburse me.
Next time when I see a good people like you, I ask you before, are you Maltese or
exactly. Always ask. Surprisingly, there's a lot of players over here right now that are both Maltese and foreign. So you never know until the last minute.
Yeah.
So you ended up signing for Sirens for the 2019 season. How long did you spend there in total?
So at Sirens I spent 2 seasons. Was a very good experience. I mean, from what we have the condition and from what we active. So I think we can say that we hit the target there.
Sirens were newly promoted, correct?
Yes, it was everything new for them. I mean, how to build the program schedule during the week, you know, how to get players, how to put players in department and those things, stuff, you know, even set up the program with the players that work, you know, and set up the training for the professional players that they have. I mean, training in the morning, set up how the foreigners going to for the game, how they're going to go to make exams, some tests, those things, you know. On the beginning, right now I think they are good on that, but on the beginning was everything new. Also the president used to ask me to make some stuff for him, like bring players on this or bring players to make exams and bring players for the games, for trainings like this. So for us for them was the beginning of the Premier League team.
I know Taishan specifically found it challenging at times to understand how the club was actually running, because obviously coming from England, he's used to, even at the very low level, it being very organised.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously when a club newly promotes to the Premier League for the first time, there is so many changes that they need to undergo, like you just mentioned.
Yes.
It can be a little bit like chaos at the beginning, trying to get everything in order in time.
Was that like trying to find the players from Facebook, you know, those things, and ask the chat to get close players with committee to try to bring players to build, you know. And I remember it was stuff like this.
Because I know Taishan was very close to signing that season.
Yes, and he did very well. Some games but it's like we spoke. He was a bit late. I mean, on the plans, because they already starting speaking with the players, but the players was not there. So that's why I have the chance to make the trials, and he showed a good football. But the problem was his position. There was planned to use a Maltese one.
Exactly.
So that was the the issue that we
That's
find.
the challenge that you can sometimes face when you are working with local player caps. Obviously, they need to field a certain amount of Maltese players on the first team lineup. So to meet that quota, sometimes you have to push players that are talented out of the club in order to meet the quota for Maltese players. So
Yes.
I think he was a victim of circumstance.
I agree with you.
Missed out on that opportunity just because obviously not being Maltese. So maybe if he had another opportunity, it would have worked out for him. But Romeu, tell me how the first season went. So it's the first season for Sirens in the Premier League. How did the club adjust to Premier League football?
So first of all, I was a kind of it was a new challenge for me because I used to be, of course, a professional player. But on this season, I sacrificed a bit myself. First of all, because I was there, so I was a kind of translate. Because we got like five Brazilians,
Yeah.
and no one of them speaking English.
Okay.
So I was a kind of translate, even for the coach inside the pitch, even outside to fix about contracts, those things, you know. So I remember that I sacrificed a lot my life for them, for the team, and for myself to make the things happen inside. I remember I have a lot of histories that the coach asked me to translate something during the session, and the Brazilians said, "No, we do in our own those things," and then the things happen, so we cannot say nothing. And then was the coach was, "Romeu, did you explain them well?" "Yes, I explained, but coach, live like this because the things happen. We are winning, you know."
Yeah.
And then I remember that the coach like give us a green pass, like because we are bringing the points, you know.
Yeah.
And I remember the atmosphere was super. Even the coach, I can mention his name, Steve D'Amato, very good coach. And I remember he didn't like too much the songs of Brazil. We are putting too high. We go in the dressing room by dancing, by happy, you know. But what we can say, coach, the points we are bringing. So
I mean, ultimately, sometimes a coach's number one job is just to recognise when the players are doing the business on the pitch. Let them do it. If you start interfering, sometimes you disrupt it and you lose the points. Whereas a great coach can sometimes recognise when the players can be trusted just to do it on their own sometimes.
I remember as well, we started the friendlies, I think with Hamurun, we did a summer camp with Floriana. On that year, Floriana was the champion of the summer camp, and the season was the champion as well. So we did very good on that summer camp. And I remember I started joking with the committee and the president, say, "Listen, press, with this team you can pay the license of Europa League because you're going to be there." And obviously the main the target of the club is to stay at Premier.
Yes.
They just, I hope so, and then those things they are not believing on that much because it's still in the beginning.
Exactly.
You know? And then the game starts. We start getting points. We always stay there. We managed to stay like 20 games straight because on the season it was cut because of COVID. And we managed to on the top 5, we managed like 20 games straight. And I remember game by game, we used to, even the Brazilians, they asked me to tell to the president to pay the license because you're going to be there. I remember that very well.
And how did you end up? You made it?
Yes. And then it was, I can say it was crazy because for myself, I didn't sleep after the last game. So for the committee, for the club, for the support, there was, great, if you finish like that, you're going to get the Europa League down and those things. But if you see the table, we played the last game against Floriana. So was Floriana first, Valletta second, and I'm not sure if us and Hibs was third place together, same points. I remember that we was 3 points behind Floriana, and Valletta was 3 points behind I think 2 points, something like that. Valletta played the game and they lose. So if we beat Floriana on this game, it was our last game, we're going to have the same points with Floriana. So with those things, they declared Floriana was champion. They declared that we was on the Europa League. We was near to get to be champions.
Jeez, wow.
And also for me, I was looking this way, like, oh, I could be champion. For them, you say, oh, first year we get Europa League. So it's about the some mentality. I was a bit upset, like, oh,
yeah,
I was not champion, but it's okay. At least we managed there. So
it's funny how sometimes such a big achievement can almost be overshadowed by circumstance when you're so close to the next achievement.
Yes.
Like you said, for a team to come to the Premier League for the first time, even just to stay up is a big achievement. Mm-hmm. To reach Europa League is unbelievable.
Yes,
no one would believe
for the
you.
club that is first year in Premier.
But for you to be almost disappointed because you're that close to winning the league at the same time, it's very, very funny how...
It's not about, let's say, because we have to tell the truth, was not a team to challenge for the league.
No.
So, and then because of 3 points, you didn't got the league home, so you can see the table, the history. So on this game, they up 6 points.
Yeah.
And they was champions, and because they are first, so we didn't get because on one game. So it was crazy this season because we can say that the club hit more than the target that they have in mind.
Do you think that set the club up for success for the next season, or was the expectation going into the next season too high because now maybe they thought they were better than they were?
I think, in my opinion, one thing worked well. I think you have not to keep, like they say. I mean, I had some coaches and players saying that we never change the winning team. So why not? We have to change this mentality. Mm-hmm. We can strengthen more the winning team.
Yeah.
Instead of never change, So I mean, that season, if the things work well, first of all, first thing you have to do is keep. Everyone was working, make the sacrifice to reach those things. And second thing, you have to strengthen. You have to see where you did mistake and improve on that. And I remember that. We have. I can say the name. We have Flavio, a very good strike. We have Ricardinho, a winger. And they was near to renew with the club. They have the chance to speak. They give the club the opportunity to renew with them. And they was asking, I don't know, a few money, I don't know, just to increase a bit the salary. It's another part, because it's come on COVID, those things. I understand the club that they have to reduce a bit the salaries, those things, but try to fight till the end to keep
the players that got you to where you ended.
Got you
have to
understand. So it's not about like, okay, if you don't want, I don't care, we are already there, and we go for another option or go for another player. So I think the mistakes start from there. I can say for myself, I think I was the last player that he knew after do the sacrifice that I did for the club, and I was the last player to renew with the club. And I remember I have an offer to go abroad, and I was speaking with them, and even the president on that time he got frustrated with me that I was speaking with some clubs that already hit the agreement with signings, but you don't understand the football. It's that we are there. We are like a market, There we can go up, and even for the clubs could be a good option. But if they don't have the mentality to sell a player, or I cannot put on them in few time, But so the mistake for me start from that. We didn't keep the team, and even some Maltese left as well.
How many players roughly left? So if you had a team of 18 players, how many would you say weren't there the next season?
I think for the next season, I think around five, 6 players left.
That's a big amount of players.
And
to
even
lose.
I can say Flavio on that team was our point of reference. So if you check the numbers, he didn't score too much, but we have a style of play that we are play on him. You know, like we have like 10 walls behind the ball that have the point of reference to rest on him, and then we go to support play.
Yeah.
I remember Steve D'Amato used to play very direct football.
Yes, that's what I can remember. I played
Yes.
against you twice during your time at Sirens. I
Yes.
played a friendly match against you with Tarshin in the first season.
Yes.
When Tayshan was playing as well. And then I also played as assistant coach for Fgora when we
Yes.
played you in the cup.
So we used to wait for the opponents in our ground and go for direct football.
Yeah.
But they think we just throw the ball up, but they don't show that the support that we give. We don't make the ball come back in our ground.
You guys would break very quickly and with lots of numbers.
Yes.
Similar to Leicester City in the season
Yes.
that they won the Premier League.
Yes. And
They would absorb pressure once they win the ball, immediately to the target man.
Exactly.
And players are forward with him. You have 4 or 5 players moving forward at pace.
Exactly, and on that year, we don't did that by our own. Like I mentioned some example from some Brazilians that they did something like this. But we are very focused on that because I remember that our coach, was finishing his pro license.
He was doing it at the same
And
time as my coach.
Yes, he was sharing a study about that of license. And it was put things that they did on us.
Yes.
We are work on the numbers that they did. Also, things like I can remember. We are the only club that score more than 3 goals by throwing.
Yeah.
So it's a very interesting thing. And we used to train like 20-30 minutes throwing. It sounds fun because who's going to train 30 minutes throwing?
It's effective.
But we are scoring on that.
Exactly.
You know, so set piece, it's still a set piece, you know. And I remember that's working very well with that, thanks to Steve D'Amato, coach.
So second year of Sirens is rolling round. You've lost 5 or 6 players from the team that was so successful the year before. What were the replacements like that came in? Did the team strengthen, or were the people that came in maybe not as talented?
To tell you the truth, the second season we have better players than the first season. But we are not working as a team like the first season, you know. Like we have very good players and good names, and if you see on the internet you're going to see, but it's the players was playing on their own
For themselves.
Yes, I mean, not that the players was like this, but the end of the day it was looking like that, you know. So I cannot say that the player was, because I was playing with them, so I cannot say that. But it sounds like that, you know, and was not getting results. And then the committee, what they do is start point things, you know.
Yeah.
I can remember very well. We are not bringing the results, and I have. We did a very good before the season started. We did a very good game abroad in the Europa League. Because it's not about only to cocker, we have to go and play. We have very good hard game against CSKA Sofia.
Yeah.
We are near to get the qualification. We start winning the game. We lose a penalty with Samurai, and then we score. And then they draw the game, and they manage to win the game in the last minute. You know, I remember that the game we got injury quick. I was injured before and was in doubt to play this game, you know. I spent like 1 week treating my hamstring, my groin, I remember. And even the committee was not trusting that I was fit to play this game, but the coach option to play me because of my experience, you know, on the European competition. Yeah. And it's true that I was not fit to play this game. But for me was pretty bad. I can say that I heard from someone saying that even I forged my injury to don't play this game.
Really?
So yes, it's very very serious. But I don't know who say that. I just hear because in Malta those things happen.
Yeah.
You just I heard. No one say who
no
says.
one wants to actually tell you who, but they will plant the seed.
What I can say from that is how come a Brazilian player, I'm not saying a player or myself, a Brazilian player is going to force to don't play football. It sounds very very
crazy,
stupid, things, like you fight whole the season to play this game and then you're going to force to get out from this game, you understand? So, but it's those things that happen to make you strong and to keep moving forward, and it's like those dirt things, it start from inside, don't outside, those things you can expect for the peoples that don't accept seeing you shine more than that.
There will always be haters when people are successful.
Yes, I used to say that because I really get close with the Maltese peoples, because I can say that 70-75% they are very good persons, very good, but the 25% of person they are like this. How are you good? I'm okay. I want you good. I want you good, but never better than me.
Exactly.
So I don't understand why they think like that. But we have to work on those people as well.
Yeah, there's a very toxic presence with those kinds of people. Although they speak nicely to your face, they are wishing for your downfall every time you turn around.
Yes, they put out histories that is not true, and I get upset because people that hear that, they don't go on deep on that. I mean, like, okay, you hear something, yes, but from who? What this guy did on the football, or what his reputation, for you to see that it's true or no, okay? And but why those things happen, or those things I hear and don't go up like this, and only from you I had. From this I had one good thing, and from you, why? And those things have changed the mentality.
People are very quick to believe what they hear from others without actually finding out for themselves.
Oh, maybe everyone know that I'm open with everyone, I'm a nice guy. Okay, I heard that. I go on him to hear his version of the history, But it's happened on the football, especially here in Malta.
I experience it a lot. There was one that actually happened last season during pre-season. So I went with Danny Claridge to Kirkop because I was struggling to find a club. I wanted some game time, so I thought, okay, I'll drop into amateur league and just get some game time. Danny had been speaking to Kirkop on my behalf, and they were very interested. They were like, yes, bring him down. I'd been training with them maybe 3 or 4 times, and Danny was like, yeah, like they want to sign you. It's good. Like, you're doing really well. Just keep doing what you're doing. And one training session, I turned up and I was playing, and I remember my Chantel over there was my spy. So she, obviously speaking Maltese, would go and sit in the stands and listen to what people are saying, because people wouldn't think we're together. Yeah. And wouldn't think that she can understand what they're saying. And she overheard, I think it was the women's coach of Kirkop, not even anyone to do with the actual team that I'm on, overheard him starting to point fingers towards me and start saying things like, oh, that player over there, he thinks he's everything. He thinks he's like the best here. I don't like him. I don't know this guy. I've never met him in my life. I don't know him. He then makes a point to come down onto the field while we're training and start pulling the coaches aside. And now he starts talking to the coaches going, that one, he's bad. He's a bad apple. He's bad for the team. Don't sign him. And now the coaches are starting to agree with him. Oh, no, you're right. Yes. That session, I then get kicked out the team and they tell me not to come back. Just because one person that has no idea who I am just turns up and decides, like I don't like him.
It's happened.
And now they tell the club then immediately break talks with me. It's crazy. I couldn't believe it.
It's happened.
I said to Danny, Danny, what happened? He goes, I don't know. I said, bro, did I do something wrong?
I think you say another then about that. So, and then I remember this season we had the COVID as well. I mean, we had to stop because we had some case on our team.
Yeah.
I remember have Thiago Espíndola and Sergio Rafael was positive. So we have to stop all the. I remember that MFA was stopping the team to play, and we have to recover like 15 days or 20 days. I don't remember now.
Yeah.
And we have to stop, but full stop. No
stop.
training, no go out, nothing, because we was in contact with them. So I remember our team was not active, the same results that last year, and then we finish. I mean, about physically, we go down immediately. I remember on that time, first season we was without any physical training, only with D'Amato, take care about that. And the second year we keep the same, because like it's happened the first year.
Exactly.
And the thing that I don't agree, because a team have to have the physical training for sure. Even the players that is recovering, I mean, get injury, he have to make the part with physical training first and then to join the team.
Yeah.
It's not, and it's happened a lot in Malta. Some days a player get injury, another day there is a game, he's okay, he's good now. So I don't know what they took, because they have to give for us to recover quick like this, you know.
Honestly, it's crazy. I think it's so important for, especially at the Premier League level now, where the players are top level players. It's impossible to be injured or come out of routine and just imagine that they can just go straight back to playing at that level. There has to be that gradual incline to getting back to the pace of the game.
Yes.
Because the Premier League is so much faster. In Challenge League, maybe you can get away with being out for a few weeks and coming back and playing. But Premier League, you have to have that incline to getting back.
And then I remember that we didn't nothing. I mean, I did myself some planks, but it's not the same, you know. And then we come back to play against Zaytoun game. Was a very hard game. I mean, Zaytoun was on high on that league, and it's used to be small clubs, you know. Always when it's small clubs against small clubs, it's a big clash for the small clubs, you know. I remember was very disorganized team. I mean, without training, and players missing, because the positive ones didn't play this game.
Okay.
So we already enter with not the proper first team.
Exactly.
And with players recovering from the sick. I remember that Samurai Maxwell was with Gezira now.
Yeah.
He was not positive, but he was very sick. So it's things that happen, you know. And I remember that we lose the game that we don't used to lose 4-0. 4-0 we lose this game.
4-0.
And I remember, because of the pressure of the committee on coach, he have to make some changes. I mean, so if we lose 4-0, we have to make something. It start when the first game of the season we lose against Hamburg 5-1. We enter in the team with one team.
Yeah.
And they are saying that the team that we finished the game, that we did good against the Europa League. And we enter in I remember that I was recovering from my shoulder injury, and I did not play the first game. And we lose 5-1. And they say, some change now, because we are not team to lose 5-1. And then we change all the game, and then we draw against Islama, the team that was winning against, I don't know, the champions maybe, Floriano, Valletta, they won.
Yeah.
So it was a good game for us. And I remember that we lose this game 4-0, and we have to make changes. And when we make changes, I remember myself was out of the game. The next game, it was my 100th game on Premier if I play.
And they didn't play you.
So he didn't play me. I was out on VIP. Even the club didn't nothing for me. I mean, shirt, because the clubs they used to do shirts for the players that make 100 game on Premier. And I asked the kit manager, and he said, I didn't know. for him it's not a problem because
Yeah.
he's the kit manager,
Exactly.
But the committee on that year,
They didn't
knew,
arrange that
they
for
knew
you.
everything, and the president knew. And I spoke with him at least one shot. You not did for me. Oh, I didn't know. Yes, because you are not interested. When the clubs interested in the player, they do things for
That's
the
a
player.
big
Not
thing
about,
to celebrate.
Yes,
Like, come
it's
on, make
not
the
about
player feel
myself.
important.
I did a barbecue. I bring all the
Yeah.
Brazilian player at my home. I did because they think it's something like this, and especially for us foreigners, it's not easy to reach 100 games.
No, that's
here.
a big achievement that should be
Because
celebrated.
it's not about to play the games like let's say the Maltese one. Even on this team, I had one player that Maltese one. He reached 100 games, and when I saw it's 100 games playing 8 minutes, 10 minutes, get subbed.
Exactly.
So 100 games like this, and then for this player, they give a shot, And for me, that cocked something. And even what I'm saying in Miami is, when you are foreigner here, and you keeping sign for the clubs year by year, and the clubs get you and still playing because you did something good,
Of course.
And then they didn't make for me, and I just make. I think one guy called me and say, "Well done." He make a post.
Yeah, I've seen
And
the
the club-
post up.
The club didn't share nothing.
They didn't even share it.
Even I remember that
Right.
I can say the replay, share it, the MFA, the bigs, how to say, channel of marketing media
Yeah.
of Malta. They share it, and the club did nothing for me. It was
That's
I
crazy.
didn't bring it from personal things, And I remember that when they put me out on this game for me to complete my 100 game, the team faced Valletta, and was my ex-club, and the team that the supports.
They're just
and the
doing
club.
everything possible to ruin your day.
It's happened. It's very sad, but it's happened with me. Thanks for who did that. They know.
Yeah, that's mental.
I was
At least even give you 5 minutes at the end. Just
okay, we don't play him, but put him in the
yeah,
bench.
here you
and
go.
then-
5 minutes. Game's over. Go and get
I
your
remember
shirt.
he mixed the team. He put players that not even play
Yeah.
yet on the season,
Mhm.
and the team have a very good result and a very good performance the game. I was looking. I remember I was me and Samurai and the VIP.
Yeah.
We was out of the game. I don't know if Samurai or Romario. I'm not sure now. Or Wellington. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Key players was outside and was look at us like, wow, us is the problem.
Yes.
You see? But okay, no problem. I think next game the coach going to put the whole team. Even the coach have confidence on us because
Exactly.
what we did. Last season,
Yeah.
he knows what he have in his hands.
Exactly.
We stay out again, and then we say VIP, and they say no, it's one game. It's
Yeah.
okay, but 2 games, it's impossible.
There's a problem.
I
now.
remember we faced Gezira, was on high.
Yeah.
We go and beat Gezira 3-2,
Oh no.
and I saw us. Wow,
Now you
us
start.
the problem,
You start looking at each other now, thinking
Yes,
this isn't
and
looking
then
good for us.
we start getting good results, and then they say, looking, those players, out of the squad.
Exactly.
And it was near to get close of the transfer windows, and then the problem start there. So since they remove those key players from the team,
Yeah.
remove was on the group. Remove from not playing them anymore, or put in the bench or those things.
Yeah.
The motivation was starting going down. Even the players seeing each other like it's not fair, it's not
Well,
respectful.
especially being a key player to suddenly, just because 2 games have gone positive,
I
now being
understand.
completely pushed aside.
Yeah, so we start
Immediately,
what's happening,
your
what's
morale,
happening, what's
you're not going to be
happening.
happy. You're immediately
Yes.
just going to go, well, these guys don't
The
fucking
atmosphere
care about
and
me.
the training was a bit down, and then the players was losing motivation. The club was trying to look for bring more players, and then the point was that the players want to leave.
Yeah.
The players receiving offer for another clubs, and the mistake was there. The thing is, there was release the players. Like, okay, receive offer, you can go. Key players, like I can say, Sergio Rafael, the defender, he went to Hibs. Wellington, he went to Valletta on that day.
Yeah.
I think Samurai, he went to Gezira, and the players, I was speaking to go for another club as well. So it's like they destroyed the team that they got the Europa League.
Exactly.
So the problem was there, and then they built a very good coach, Giovanni Tedesco, a winning coach, a good mentality. He went there and he find the things how it was,
Yeah.
and he cannot do nothing on that time because it's a short time,
It's very hard to save a sinking ship.
Yes, he's a very, very good coach. His mentality is very, very good, but he cannot put his effort, his work on because he's lack without players. The club don't give him the condition to bring more players or to give the staff, and then and I remember I was out of his plan, not because of him, because he knows me. We used to joke with him that I beat him many times and he beat me, and we always play against each other. Valletta when he was at Bicecara, when he was at Floriana, when he went to Gezira. So always we play against him, and he respect me. He know my history, And first thing I have. I think you can show here. I have a picture with him. He was speaking with me like, I'm gonna need your experience to ride and then he didn't know that I was not playing. And what's happened? Yes, you have to ask the committee or why I'm not playing. And then one day he was needing me to lead the team, to guide them, to go with my mentality, my experience. And another day I was without his plan. So it was football. It's happened, And then I end up with the COVID again. Thanks God the COVID arrived, because the other ways the team was very in deep on that time.
So COVID ended the season again short, stopped it from carrying on. How did that affect the Premier League? Did they nullify the Premier League so no one got relegated, or what happened?
Yes, was that, and was a lot of meetings to...
Because was that the year that Tarshin were on like 3 points?
Yes. On that year they keep everyone.
They saved Tarshin
and they promote the clubs was there.
Yes.
So no one's go down relegation, and 2 clubs was fighting for that. They go up.
Exactly.
So the next year the Premier was very crowned of clubs.
And that was this is where they've now had the headache of constantly having one league with too many teams in it. So I think last year it was Challenge League had too many teams. This season, I think they've finally started to find a balance, and they're not having to divide the Challenge League into 2 groups again.
Yes.
So this year it's finally leveled out. But they had a headache for about 2 or 3 years during COVID.
It's true.
Because they would finish one league and teams would promote, and then they would finish another and no one would move. And they were getting like stuck with a lot of teams in one league.
Even was hard for the clubs to get players because no one was entering in the quote, So the players that stay in Malta, they have that advantage to sign with clubs, and it was very difficult for the clubs to set up the team for the next season.
So end of that year, you didn't stay on the Sirens, did you?
No, I did not. I finished my agreement with them, and then I was free. I was training, and on that year, Mostar did the performance that we did last year. They did very well, and they got the place for the Europa League since they applied for the license. There was very organized setup on that year, but they was looking for players since they was not bringing players from the airport, and I was training, I was fit, and they invite me to make the agreement with them just to play the Europa League games. I just thinking about. I just not thinking about. I just go for it since I have very good relation with them, with president, with the committee, the staff, with the coach as well.
So this was your second experience now with Malta?
Yes, my second experience, and it's about to play another 2 games, Europa League games.
Exactly.
It was, I cannot thinking to accept. I just go for it.
I think anyone in that situation accepts that
Yes.
deal. It's to be able to play Europa League games is a massive.
Yes, and on this year was a new competition with a conference league.
The Conference League.
Yes, was the first year in that, and we was the first team to get the win.
Yeah.
Because we was the first game on this, and so we went for the history of the league and the history for the club as well.
There you go, guys. We've got a record holder on our podcast as well. The first winner of a Conference League match.
Yes, it was
Fantastic
great.
achievement. How did the first Conference League game go?
So was very good because first of all we play at home, and I remember that we have, thanks today of the technology, we can see a lot from the team.
Yeah.
I mean on the start, those things, and we were very start. We did a very well plan with the coach Mario to beat them, and we started with training. All the session was planned to beat this game.
Yeah.
And we beat them 3-2 here. I think they suffer a bit of the weather.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the weather it's
For
hard
both.
for both sides. So I think we did a very good home. I would say we used to say homework. We did very good.
Okay. Yeah.
Very good.
Studied the team well.
Yes.
Prepared well.
And when we go there, I think some players of us get a bit. I can say because I was there and I saw it. It was on their face. There was a bit of state about the atmosphere, about the stadium, about the nice grass, the real football. There was a state. I mean, first time seeing that. Going abroad with the team, with a good competition, with a very good station, with a stadium, a very good amount of support.
Yeah.
And there was like this and forgot to play.
So they got lost in the glitz and the glamour.
Yes. And then we suffer a lot there. And in first half they are too much on our pitch. And the plan that we did here, we cannot use a lot there because since we are with the advance, we are expect the amount of chance they're going to bring on us.
Yeah.
So we have to we plan for one thing, we get it. And then in a few weeks, in less than 4 or 5 days, we have to change our plan
completely. Yeah.
To go to save the qualification. It was too hard for us.
What was the final score on the second game?
The second game we lose 2-0.
2-0. Okay,
Yes.
so the one goal was the difference maker.
Yes, so we won 3-2 and they got it. If you score one goal,
you go through.
not even a penalty. We get the game
because of the.
No, penalty.
Penalties, yeah.
Yes, it was penalty. So it was near, extra time and then penalty.
Then penalties.
So it was near to get it, I remember in the last few, we managed to put some pressure.
Yeah.
We was inside of the area, the box, and we didn't manage to get it. But we was very good game. Both games we did a hard job for them to get the qualification. But for us, we wrote the history for the club.
The Mosta team at that time, they were quite young still, right?
Yes, very young and very promising players, and they have personality to play, and the coach put them in. I remember there is Gianluca, there is I forgot now, but Zach Brinkart. So they put them on, and they really did a good job.
So you can almost understand from their point where they did get a little caught up in their surroundings, seeing the lovely grass, the big stadium, the supporters.
Yes,
when you come from a small island like Malta, you're not exposed to that level of.
When we go to warming up, there is a schedule of the game, like interviews, those things. You have to stop here to pre-conference, those things, they are a bit state on that.
sometimes it can disrupt the preparation of the player, especially when they're not used to that level of kind of TV, that level of glitz and glamour around them. It can completely throw you off your stage of preparation before the game. And you can see some players will defeat themselves before they even go onto the field because they're too busy concentrating on trying to soak it in.
It's make difference. Yeah. That's the difference of professional and high level and those things. So
even you see at the highest level when players move from maybe a smaller European league to somewhere like the Premier League in England, the whole monopolisation of the Premier League becomes overwhelming to them. They can't adjust and they can't settle into that.
It's true.
TV orientated football. So the Europa Conference League qualification unfortunately ended in disappointment. So how did the club then adjust from there? Obviously you didn't stay on for the rest of the season with them. How did the deal come to a close then?
Yes, to tell you the truth, before it was the deal just for the Europa League games, you know. And in fact, on this year, most already have the day 9 foreigners. I mean, they will arrive later, you know, after the competition. So that's why I have a very good relation. Was clear, and they give me everything that they promised. Yeah. So it was a very, very good environment there because of that. They are always clear, and they managed to give you what they promised.
Exactly. That's always what you hope from a team, is that they stick to their word. Was there ever any talk about maybe staying on for longer after the success of the first game, or were you both parties kind of clear that it was never going to move further than just the Conference League?
No, it was a talk. Even was interest from the coach and was the members of committee. But the thing was since I knew how it's Premier work, I mean 7 foreigners and 2 in the bench, you know, it's not about the competition myself with them. It's about to since I already experienced some how to say VIPs on with the same clubs. I was not thinking about to be the same, you know.
Exactly.
Even I don't want to destroy my good relation that I have with them.
Because that's where you might start to fall out with the team.
Yes, where you know, that I was looking for.
You find yourself sitting in VIP as opposed to being with the travelling squad, and now you're starting to get frustrated because you're not being allowed to continue your career, really, are you? So you ended with Mostar amicably and moved on to Rendy, I believe.
Yes.
How did the deal with Rendy come about? Because that was your first experience in Challenge League now.
Yes, and I was planning. It was not the first time that they asked for me. Even that period was the hard time with Sirens. I was planning to go there, but since I was to honor my contract with Sirens till the end, I stayed there till the end of the season. And for me it was a shock when I received a message from the coach. He's a friend of mine. He's a good guy.
What was the coach?
Leiden Fennec. He's with Ormi now.
Yeah.
Very good coach, very promising coach. It was his first year coaching a senior team, and he was very clear with me. And he saw, listen, Romao, can you play midfield as a number 10? I have a style of playing. I have you in my mind to play there. For me, it was a shock. I say like, yes, I can play because I'm a breed football. You know, I'm an experienced player, so I know what a midfielder can do.
Exactly.
You know, but I think he was expected. I was the same player that I was with Valletta. Yeah. So the things change. You know, I was in my mind. I played the Europa League as a defender, centre back.
Yeah.
And then I end up playing as behind the strike. Even for the referees, the coach, the players that know me, they are singing me there and saying, how, Romao, how
exactly, laughing.
Okay,
what are you doing?
What are you doing here? Usually you stole me the ball, so now I have to jump with you to try to win.
I get the same reaction when I'm playing because I'll go from playing up front for one club to playing at right back to playing at centre mid.
You know, even the referee saying, oh, I used to make penalties that you didn't play, so now you don't go down because you are up front, you know, those things. But it was a new challenge for me. I I mean, when I say new, I say new of everything. I
Yeah.
mean, the environment, the clubs, the away to go speak president. I remember that I had a lack of clothes to train, you know. I remember
Yeah.
that I find a low pitch, you know, very low conditions. You have to understand if you accept the challenge of a small club, you know. And I remember I used to how to say to with my friends I used to see the pitch. It's our pitch there, but I think the like stuff they used to rent the pitch for players to play five-a-side.
Yeah.
And I remember that when we finish our training, they arrive, everyone with a bottle of water and this thing. And one day after I was seeing the pitch, they left everything there. I say,
yeah.
so there is no stuff to clean the pitch. So I remember that I start doing with myself, like because it's ours. So
Exactly.
I started going myself with another two foreigners, the Colombian guys, Camilo and Perdomo. We used to go around in the ground, pick the bottles that they're throwing, even ourselves as well, our players used to do those things,
They don't take care.
And I say, listen, if you say, it's not going to happen. So what we're gonna do is we do ourselves. Maybe they saw it, they use as example.
Exactly.
You know, that was my first thing to try to do that, to try to contaminate them with my mentality, my professional style, you know. And then I start seeing things like the result was not happening. I mean, the first two games we were there, and it was everything new. Even the players have to know the way he play. Even the players have to know. They know me as a fullback, as a defender, so they have to adapt. It's, you know, and I end up starting in the bench in the starting games. And I remember I get my first lineup on the half of the way of the first round, and I play, and I got the first game that I start, I score, and I say, wow, what's that? So now I'm going to put the striker that I have inside on me, and my number 10 I'm going to put out. And I remember we play against Donny, the Figura team.
Yeah.
They was on high, beating big players on that game, and we lose the game. We finished the game 1-1 the first half.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, boys, let's concentrate, focus on that, and then we finished the game 5-1 for them. So it's like all the clubs, when the result is not there, we have to make some change, you know. And I remember when I was near to get their way to play there as a number 10, as a strike sometimes, the change have to make the coach have to make a big change in the club.
Yeah.
So he said, I remember he did a meeting with us, and listen, we don't invent things anymore. We go everyone on his place and your own, you know. I start playing fullback, and it's like you have to start building the team again. They style a new style.
Yeah.
Okay, we have an experienced player, but it doesn't work like this when you have when you don't have conditions to work.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna play, let's say 4-4-2, and you need the back four, and the back four cannot attend all the week in the session, you cannot train the back four.
No.
Understand? So today you're going to play the wingers, but the wingers, where is the wingers? The wingers have something else with his job. So, and this thing was new for me, you know.
It's
like,
the difficulties with the Challenge League.
So now I'm the defender, you know. Even I think for the coach was new experience. It was hard for him as well. He planned one thing, like let's say we're going to train the number 9s today. So the number 9s, once there is an injury, and one suspension with 4 yellow cards. So we cannot play the 9s, you know. We have to put some players that not going to play in the game.
And it's pointless.
You know, so
it doesn't work. It just
so
doesn't help anyone.
We're gonna lose shots today. Oh, the goalkeeper didn't arrive yet because he's in his job.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he have to. So those things for me was new. I was in shock. Like, wow, how come you're going to train if you have only 12 players?
How does that affect you mentally when you're training?
Yes, it's a lot. Even on this time, I remember that I have my young one. And the coach know about. I have a personal problem with my family on that time, and I was worrying about them. Like my sister was causing problem for my dad that after we are old. So my head was there, and it was 3 years without go to Brazil, and was not fully concentrate my head on football. But I need to be there because in the end of the day it was Romeu there, so it was my name work on there, and I have to do it well. And my performance started going down, but the end of the day they not think that it was why my performance was going down.
All
there
they
is
see
something,
is that it's going down, and
like
they think
there is something that we can help you, and then yes, of course, pay my ways on day. It's going to help me a lot. It was delay. This was the first thing. And then there is another thing. Yes, position. Yes, their way to train, the intense to train. The result was not coming, and then the players recover from the injury, from the suspension. So I am the one that have to go in the match. So no sequence of games, So the players got injury. So I have to go there. I was injured. I mean, I was feeling something, but I cannot afford to go out. Because imagine, we already have lack of players not training. So I go with pain. I remember how many trainings I did with pain or with play games with cataphasts, taking medicines just to make the action happen. But at the end of the day, the committee, the president, the club, they don't care about that. So they want the points, and they don't care if you are receiving your salary, if you are fit to play, if you are good psychological to perform as well. And it's end up like this. So I remember that I had a problem. I can say that it was not open for it's not closing for anyone. It was open already, and I was without my ways. I was near to get the 3 months behind, and I was. It's
a long time to go.
I have a meeting. It was like both parts don't want anymore to continue the contract. I say okay. For me, it's not a problem, but give me what you have to honor. And I can understand the press. That he have his own business and was on deep because of COVID. Was no tourist on the island. And the end of the day, it's not my problem. When you work with football, you have to plan those things before. You have to set a sponsor something. If you want to really work on a football setup, or the other ways you do like Pembroke did. So you have no condition to play, you go to the amateur league, and that's all. That's their way. The teams that they have no condition to pay a player, to pay a coach on time, so they have to go for that, because there is no time to mistakes on football when you want to do something good.
It's difficult as well, because as a club, you can't really, like, as much as you can understand that they're going through financial problems, it's just bad business owning if you agree to pay players more than you can actually afford. Don't give out big contracts to players if you don't have the money ready to pay.
Yes.
I see it so much where clubs are agreeing to pay players money that they don't even have themselves yet. They're hoping that they'll get it throughout the season.
And then the sponsor coming, then
and it's crazy. If you don't have that financial power already there to give to people, don't pretend that you do to give it out to people, because you kill players that are professional players that are moving from other countries to live here. They rely so much on that wage.
Yes.
And you're stopping them from working, you're stopping them from doing anything to get money.
And they don't understand football. It's not only you pay the salary for the player and that's all. You have to give him the condition. He have to be happy. He have to be motivation to go for it.
The amount of sacrifice that it takes to actually maintain being a footballer, that money is only a small part of what actually keeps you going and keeps you on track. I've been the first to fall off that path many times when something goes wrong and you just know that the situation isn't going well for you and you're getting unhappy, you're losing motivation, and now suddenly you've gone from being peak fitness and playing really well to just playing like a shadow of yourself because you're not happy. You're not really got any money coming in.
So your
financially,
body is there, but your head is not
exactly,
there. So
and
those things doesn't work.
There's so many
together,
components to actually maintaining a healthy, good, like informed footballer, and the money's just the tip.
Yes, it's on what we are doing.
It's that foundation of, if we've agreed an amount to pay me, just pay me.
Yes.
That way I know I don't have to worry about my bills. I don't have to worry about
especially
rent.
when we are full time and you have just this income.
Exactly.
You know, so we cannot live like my case. I can give example. I have a family here, so I feed my family with the money that I receive from the club. So
when they take the money off of you, they're taking the money out of your the
I
food
understand
out
what
of
I
your
mean,
kids'
yes,
mouths.
but they don't care about that. They want you there just to collect the points and that's it.
And they expect you to then stay happy going to training while your kids are at home getting hungry because
Yes.
you can't afford to pay them.
Like this, sometimes it's tough
crazy.
It's crazy, a lot of it to share.
So, how did it end up with Rendy? What sort of time did the contract end up being terminated?
So I have the contract with them till end of June by FIFA.
Yeah.
And thanks God I am a member of MFPA.
Yeah.
I just contact Carlo to take care of my situation, and I never see him losing any case about that. And he just go to the MFA and we complain boards, we sit there and they give us the win. And even they complain some things that was on the contract, those things, but the end of the agreement I won everything, and thanks God they settled the payment with me.
So everything financially for you, you're back on track.
Yes.
Amazing to hear. I mean,
yes.
like you said, the Maltese Football Players Association really do wonders for the players over here on the island, because you're not the first player that's been in this situation, are you?
Mm-hmm.
There's many players over the years that have found themselves in difficult situations with the clubs, and it's only because of people like Carlo and the rest of the team at the MFPA that now the clubs are actually being held responsible for the contracts that they're giving out. So it's a great plus to see that there are people fighting for the players and helping us from our end. So we're at the present day now. You're out of contract at the moment currently. Let's talk about why you weren't then able to sign for another club last season. So having parted ways with Rendy, you were no longer able to sign with another club, were
Yes,
you?
because there is the rules from FIFA that you have to sign with 2 clubs per season.
Yeah.
So since I was with Malta, the Conference League, and I signed the professional contract, I was not able to go for another club since Rendy was my second club.
Yeah. So because Romeu had played an official FIFA licensed game for Mostar in the Conference League at the beginning of the season, and then moved again to Rendy and had played and registered games in the Challenge League, that now meant that he was ineligible to sign for any other team that's in a FIFA licensed league, and was not able to appear for any other team for the remainder of that season. So that again put another financial restraint on you, because that's stopping you from getting an income from maybe another club where your services could have been used. So you were really locked into a situation of having to wait until you got paid, really, weren't you?
Yes, it was very hard time that I spent those 5-6 months without income, and the MFPA helped me out with my rent. It's a bit emotional to talk about that, because you can see who is with you on this time, you know, the friends, you know, the persons that support you, you know. And I can mention here, I have Carmel Busutil with his camping. He gave me the opportunity to open my own school, and I can say that he's my mentor, that he teach me a lot of things about coaching kids. He give a lot of guide, extra ground. I mean, even his wife, they share a lot of experience, and they give me a lot of words for me to plan myself well, for the next one. I'm so thankful to be them as a friend.
So that's an interesting point that you just mentioned. So as we know from the last podcast, Romeu did start to dabble in coaching kids when he first moved to Mostar. He was given the opportunity to start coaching. Romeu, coaching is something you still do today, correct?
Yes, I'm still it's inside of me. It's my passion. I love to coach kids.
Now, Romeu has actually opened his own coaching school over here. The R90 coaching, correct?
Yes, it was first year in collaboration the Kick Football Academy in collaboration with R90 Camping.
Yeah.
That's someone asked me why Romeu and 90 is my number that I play. So if you don't know, you know now.
Similar to me with the 96.
Yes.
Always trying to brand.
Good.
Footballers always use their jersey.
Yes, it's a luck shot of number,
Yeah.
number of shot.
So tell me about the camp.
So first was the idea from Carmel Busutil that he knew that the kids love me, even the parents, and he told me, why should you don't open your own, because you have always parents saying good about you, and the kids always want to make the session with you, so they like your way to train them, to coach them, so why you don't open? So he offered me his ground. He have a ground at Rabat. He have a partnership with the head school of Primar, Mtarfa Primar School.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, I have a partnership with them, and he offered me the ground to start something off. And then it was funny because we are talking about 6 kids only. I mean, so start with 6 kids just for you to don't lose. I mean, their way, because I was with him in his camp.
Yeah.
And then so do something, post something that you're going to do, and do only with 6 kids just to have it. And I managed to get 30 kids. So for me was
overachiever.
Was good. And the target was active, because my aim is always develop the kid their way the funds possible, but with something that they have to went home and they got something from the day.
Exactly.
That was my aim, because I don't like to just enjoy them. I'm famous with the parents that I make the fun with the kids, but I don't want that point. I want to make them fun, but I want them to put them on the line to reach their dream, because I'm always, when I see them, I see myself. I remember my time I was there, and I want to give all my experience, all my knowledge of football for them, to try to hit them dream, because I know what's the feeling when you dream and you hit it.
The key to being a great coach of youth football is learning how to be goofy and have fun with the kids, but to disguise your coaching points within the fun. Yes. If you're playing a game, don't just play a game to play a game. Add some sort of condition in there.
Yes.
That involves a skill move, that now they're going to learn that skill move, or it teaches them to make a certain type of run, or it teaches them to do something that's related to football, but they won't see that until they get a little bit older, and now naturally they do that just by having played that game.
It's a very, very good point, and who isn't watching now, he's my partner. I'm going to get him. Okay, the same mentality as mine. So it's very good point.
Soon you'll see R90 and DDB 96.
Yes, he's going to do something in the future for sure, because this mentality, that's the mentality, and you say everything now.
So Romeu has been, is this the first year you did the camp this year, or was it the second year?
Yes, I can say the R-Night is the first year, but I used to do extra session by Coach Romeu before.
Yeah.
But it was just a extra session, because everyone was in your own nursery, on your own camping, and now this one was a very good setup, because I managed to bring for the kids like some friendlies, some support for each players that some another camps they don't do. So it was a very interesting camping even for the kids, and I can say that I achieved the target.
Yeah. And is there plans for the future for the camp to keep running?
Yes, there is, and because of the success of the first time, I was looking forward to make something like a whole season, but I have to go like my mentor Carmel told me. I have to go step by step. So don't to skip stages.
Exactly. If you go too quickly, you can crash and burn and over.
Basically, my mind is just to make something on the winter and maybe on the Easter and the future. But I'm sure that I'm going to keep that because it was a very good setup.
So you're planning to stick to the school schedule maybe, and when it's the winter holiday break?
Yes, like this one,
Easter holiday break.
Because this one, I really find it good because it was when everyone was stopping because of the exams in the school for the kids. On that the parents argue and some complaints that was not good because the kids need to start. But I can say that opposite. It could be very helpful for them to get out a bit from the stressful that the kids have on the exams.
I am a
so
huge
you went
believer.
there, you went there for the camp, and you get out a bit because it's only 1 hour and 15. I don't think that this time is going to remove the attention of them to go for the exams. You know,
it was actually a discussion I was having at Gargour with one of the mums of one of the players who is also a PE teacher at the school, and she is again in agreement that people, especially the kids, they need that time to get out and play and burn off the stress.
It's true.
And relax their mind, because you can't just be work all the time.
Yeah, sometimes the stress and the pressures come from the parents that you have to start because you have to be someone else in the future. So you have to go for it, and because the exams come, and then it's turned against the child, you know. So don't worry about it. Every night is going to continue when there is exams.
Good.
The same.
That's what I like to hear. Give the kids an option to get out, run away some of that stress that they've been working up, and be refreshed for the next day. That's the most important part. When you get out and have exercise, you feel great, you feel refreshed. The next day when you go in to study, you feel great again. You've got that energy to then go and commit to studying again.
The time that you relax and you love that time, you know. I think when you play football, you feel freedom, you know.
Exactly, and that's exactly what you need sometimes. So Romeu, you've been doing camps so far over the summer, and that's been kind of what's keeping you busy as a coach. Can you tell us any plans as a player for next season? What's on the books at the moment? Is there any potential deals coming through, or where's your head at playing?
Since I already start my career as a coach, and I want to go deep on that with the kids, I already received some offers, but I want to accept the good one to manage for me to see if I can keep coaching and keep playing, you know. And I have to be sure which club I'm going to go to don't happen what's happened with me last season.
I think it's a bit of a reality check sometimes when you get exposed to the situation that you were in, that you now become much more protective about your club that you're going to sign for. You need to make sure that so many things are now in place before just signing a piece of paper. You have to take care of yourself. And
even some clubs, they ask me why I didn't get club yet. It's because of that. Just to take care, to get a good environment, you know, to don't happen.
Make sure the club is prepared to stick to the agreement that you make.
You know, even the mentality of the club, I mean, where the club want to achieve, it's make a lot of difference as well. No.
So, what league would you preferably want to play in this season?
No, I receive offering also to Premier, but I mean, if I play Premier today, I have to stop my old things. I mean, with the kids, with another business that I have it.
Yeah.
So I have interest to keep on speaking with the clubs with Challenge League and also the amateur league, because for me I am the professional one, so it doesn't matter if
Exactly.
I'm gonna be in Premier League or the other one. I have to be the professional one.
Yeah.
So because the end of the day, there is some clubs that they saying that they are professional, but the professional things they are not there. So
Exactly.
the end of the day, us have to be the professional one.
And let's face it, the jump in competition level between challenge and amateur, there's not actually that big of a difference, is there? There are teams right now in the amateur league that are head and shoulders better than teams in the challenge league.
And they have better stuff than
better facilities,
yes.
better like committee setups.
It's true. Even the part of the physical coaching is better than.
There are a few clubs in the amateur league that really are pumping a lot of money into the club this year.
Yes.
And funny enough, they're all in Group A.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
After the group got done, guys, for the amateur league, which is again this year being split into Group A and Group B. You've seen every team with a big budget into Group A, and then every team with a little budget in Group B.
Yes.
So it should be a very interesting year this year in the amateur league. Romeu, I'm excited to see where you end up next season. I think we're going to see big things from you this year. I think you've got a lot to give after the year that you had last year. I think there's probably a lot of creativity in you that you want to be able to express yourself and restore that credibility back on your name after the...
What I can say is for the clubs, don't expect that they're going to be the player that I was 7 years ago. Because in football the times pass, but you can expect a very good experienced player that can help the young ones that you have in your club, that the mentality is to put the young ones, and a very decided player to hit something, because some persons they think that because I won the league here 2 times and trophy, Super Cup, I'm not interested anymore to go for a new challenge, to face to achieve something. But you are wrong. I'm very decided to go for a new challenge, to go back where I stopped, to hit records, to do those things. And since I'm still 32 years, I'm still fit to keep playing.
And I can vouch for that. I had Romeu on the 5s 2 or 3 times. How many times did you come?
I think 2.
2 times.
Yes.
He looks sharp. He's good. His experience is something that you just cannot teach. That is, I think, one of your key selling points this year. That level of experience that Romeu has. I remember me and Melvin were talking about it after the first game you played, and we were both just saying you could just tell how comfortable you were on the pitch at all times, no matter where you found yourself on the pitch. When it was 2v1, 3v1, you were just so composed. You never kind of panic, and you reassure your team around you. All the players around you feel immediately more stable having you on the field, because you're that anchor that makes everyone else feel safer on the pitch. And like you said, that level of experience that you can provide to a younger team is invaluable to them. I mean, that's what you need. Every key successful team that is built on youth, they need that backbone of experience, of composure, patience on that field with them. And I think you would make a great addition to one of those clubs that's looking to boost their youth players into the first team.
Yes, I think all teams need that, a mix of everything. I mean, the young ones, the fit players, the experienced players, the players that can decide games, so a mix, a unit of those things, I think is going to have a good environment and a good season for the clubs.
Like you said, you're 32 years old now. Have thoughts about retirement ever crept into your head lately? Is there an age that you kind of think, I'm going to play till here and that's it? Or are you kind of going year by year and just see how you feel each year?
To tell you the truth, I was thinking about when my situation was very deep and hard. But and then when I go to watch games, I think players like 22 years old getting lazy, don't like to running, and no desire, no way to win, no motivation to conquer something. I see a lot of youngs take care about to make tattoos, to make to go out with girls, and I say no, I have to keep playing it, to transfer my mentality, like to see if I can contaminate someone to bring these things out from them. That's my aim.
So no plans in the near future. I think we're going to see Romeu in Malta a few more years playing.
Yes. I guess we cannot say, because sometimes I say for myself, I'm going to play 1 year more. And then it's the offer arrive, and then I say I can play 4 years more, but sometimes even with these grounds in Malta, we have to quite a bit.
Even at 26, sometimes I train on the pitch and I think this is it, last year for me.
Yes.
My knees start swelling up, my ankles feel like crap.
Especially when we don't have staff to recover well. That's why I always tell with my friends to have to invest in yourself, like the end of the day our body, it's a machine that we're going to use to feed our family, so we have to invest on that. So if you have money to buy a bottle of wine, so you have to have money to have a machine gun to recover yourself.
The machine gun has come in clutch for me many times. After every training session, you'll see me drilling away, trying to get rid of the pain.
It's that.
Romeu, what is the long-term plan for you? Do you think you're going to stay in Malta, or do you think you are going to move back to Brazil at some point?
So I miss Brazil a lot. I mean food, I mean family, I mean parties, I mean, I can say that the Brazilians, we are more welcome people than here.
Yeah.
But the economic right now at Brazil, it's in deep, and Malta can offer more job for us than Brazil right now.
Yeah.
And to tell me true, I will stay here because of my son. First, I put him to enjoy football, because I don't want him to face the things that I faced during my career, And I don't think he's going to say the words, to face those things, to be strong. Yes, to be strong, to face those kind of situations. Yeah. And I say I don't want that for my son. First I put him just to enjoy, and then I was watching him, I was coaching him, I was teaching him what to do, those things. And he was showing me that he's capable to reach his dream.
I've seen a few video clips.
Yes, and
he's techie. He's got some skill.
Yes, and the thing is, it's not about only that. It's about that he breed football. Mm-hmm. So there is a game. There is a Champions League game during the week. He 4 days before he tell me, Daddy, there is Chelsea against Real Madrid, and
this player's injured. This player's injured.
Yes,
he's meant to have a good game today.
And I guess Real Madrid going to get it because Vinicius Junior is on high now. So those things, it's on him, on his DNA already, And he want to play some games on the PlayStation. It's football.
Yeah.
He want to watch some videos on YouTube. One time I catch him watching Zico, and I said, Pelé, and I said, what is this, man? It's old football. Yes, I want to see the way they look, the way they shoot. It's very old, and things like that. It's I face, like, I see. It's very interesting that he want to know how was the football before.
Yeah.
So and his passion is there. He's a very he's quality player, and I guess he can. Read something him out, and I guess that we can use Malta as a shorter way for him, since Brazil we are so competitive, like when we talk about Neymar, we have 1 million Neymar Brazil, losing the opportunity and receiving a nose and not finish career of football. So I guess at Malta he can do something. And to tell you the truth, Since we are 7 years, he already. He have more years as a Maltese citizen, and then Brazil. So have 10 years. He lived in Brazil only 3 years. So he's already have proud to say that he's Maltese.
Acclimatized to
Yes,
Malta. He is Maltese. Yeah.
Yes.
One question I have for you: when you look back at your career as a whole so far, are you happy with what you've achieved? Or do you look back and sometimes wonder what could have happened and maybe feel like you could have achieved more?
I always, friend of mine, even family members, ask me, did you achieve what you dream? But because I was planned to see you on the national team of Brazil. And I'm here going to tell you the truth. I had 2 dreams in my career of football. First, when I start, 3. First, when I start, for me my target was just be a professional football player.
Yeah.
I watch TV and I hear about, and I want just to be a professional. It's could be in the worst club in the world, in the best one. I want to have at Brazil. We have a card that we have to put on it's every place there is that to have your profession. Your
profession.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I want to write on that a football player. I want this. And I remember when I was 18. I think we're talking about the last pod. When I hit that, I was showing everyone of my family, like I read my dream, and for them was, what is this? He dream very small, But it was my dream.
Yeah.
I want to read on the paper that I was professional football player, and my second dream, it was win something big, and I conquered that on when I was 19. So I was near. That's why I can say that I didn't reach a big level, because my dreams I reached very quick.
Yeah.
So when I 18, I turned professional player. When I was 19, I conquered a big. I was champion of the because I don't know how to explain you.
Is that the picture of you with that trophy? That's
yes,
like
the old one, the big one. Yes, I think we're going to put.
I will.
Yes,
it is enormous. It's so
it's
big.
a big one. I was small one like this, and with the big players on that tournament. And for me, it was great. I hit that. I was showing everyone that can you see that. So I want to win something, and I want to turn a professional player. And then my last one was playing in Europe. And then I hit that when I was 23, when I go to Hungary to play.
Yeah.
So, because in Germany, I didn't stay there, that we spoke about. And then when I went to Hungary, I say, I did my dreams.
Yeah.
So those 3, I did it, and I relaxed. That was my problem, that there is no one behind me to tell me, hey, you can active this if you go for it.
Yeah.
And I relax a bit. And all the extra that you know already from the another pod.
So, happened. 3 dreams, all achieved by the age of 23.
Yes.
I'd call that a success.
Was good.
So, success in your eyes. You look back, you're happy.
Yes, I can say that I conquered something. I can even when last time I went to Valletta and was driving the car. When I put my head up, I saw my picture there on the wall, on the poster that won my second league, I guess. And I looked to my son, and he's not me. He saw that. Look, Daddy, it's Valletta team. I saw, oh, look well. Hey, Daddy, this is you. It's for me. Was like if I am there, it's because I did something good. Even if you go to Italy in the VIP, you can see my picture there.
Yeah.
And you went to the toilet, you're going to see Romeu with the trophy like this. And with a big station like this, and at Europe, a child that come from where I come, I think it's a big achievement, more than a trophy. You know, they recognize that you are there. You know, if you saw at Siren's bar, you're going to see my picture there. If you saw at Mostar bar, you're going to see my picture there. So it's like something that I achieved when we're talking about achievements, that you are part of history. You know, I used to say that friends, I have a lot of friends of mine that stop football. They talking about me or they talk about someone else. So I can sit down in the sofa and talk about my history. Understand? So
that's like I said in the first episode of the podcast with you, I would quite happily call you a legend of Maltese football. I think you've achieved enough in Maltese football and left such a lasting impact on the Maltese football community that people over here, instantly recognisable, people know who you are, they respect what you've achieved, and most importantly, they respect you as a person. Like you said, you've gone through your time in Malta, making friends with the parents, making friends with the kids, stopping and signing autographs, taking photos with people, and people respect that a long, long way. And now, like you said, when you're setting up your camp, you're seeing the results pay back now. All that effort that you put in when you were at the top of the Premier League, where you would take the time to sit with people in the streets and have coffee with them or have lunch with them. Now it's paying back to you when you're now opening up your camp. It's the parents that remember that. It's the kids that remember that. And now they see that they can come and train with you directly. Now you're going from aiming for 6 people, you're getting 30 registrations because people know you, people like you, and people respect the effort that you put in when you didn't have to. And now when they can do the same for you, they're going to.
And for me, it's more than the medals, the trophy that I conquer. You know, my dad always teach me to be a nice person, a humble person, because we never know the future, you know. And when we are good, when we do good things, and when we are good person with someone else, the good things you attract that for yourself. So that's why I prefer the people recognize me with my character than what I conquer, and that's my mentality that I give. So I'm always going to be a nice one, a good one, and without expect nothing back from you. And always when you get near to me, you're going to feel the atmosphere good and positive things, because always, even when I want to cry, I'm going to express myself that I'm going to be happy and I'm going to be a positive vibes always. So that's why I think the people's like to
positive
say
energy,
positive things about
positive
me.
Energy gravitates people towards you. It leaves a gravitational pull that makes people want to be near you.
We know when we are like this, when we shine because of for a few things that you do. The people don't accept that, because sometimes there is a lot of interesting peoples that will get close to someone because they can get something back. So they don't accept that I get some things, some opportunities, some let's say invite for a simple event, because I am a nice person and they don't accept that. So those things, those jealous person, you can expect that they're not going to talk good about me.
No.
Because they don't accept that you shine more than them.
Romeu, last question, and then we're going to pull the plug on the podcast and I'll let you get on with your day. Can you, in the experience that you've had in 3 or 4 different countries now, what advice would you give to young, aspiring professional footballers about how to achieve their dreams? Obviously, someone that achieved their dreams so young, what advice can you pass on to aspiring young players?
So, first of all, is live the moment, because everything that you do, good or bad, is going to pass. So the thing is, you have to do everything that there is no tomorrow. So at Brazil we have to say that we have to kill one lion per day to achieve something. So if you can kill 2 or 3, go for it, because you never know the tomorrow, and you never know that you're going to have the opportunity again. So there is 3 things that never come back. So one thing is when I don't know how to say.
The bow and arrow?
Yes, when you do that, when you release, no chance for you to get back.
Yeah.
When you say a bad words, let's say there is a guy, like he cannot run because of his tummy.
Yeah.
If you say bad for him, you cannot go and try to correct the thing.
Yeah.
And the opportunity, you cannot take it again. So always take the opportunity as gonna be the last one. So like this, you're going to active the things, I'm sure. And think about the moment. When you are in the high moment, pay attention that this moment is going to pass. And even when you are in the deep moment, that moment is going to pass. You cannot relax when you are there, and you cannot give up when you are deep. That's the aim.
I think that's great advice to end on. Very philosophical, especially the bow and arrow reference. I like that.
Let's go for it.
We'll shoot that bow and arrow out, and that's the podcast done.
Oh, we cannot do this.
Podcast is gone.
I cannot make it. No chance.
So Romeu, thank you very much for coming back on the podcast and finishing your story. I know many players are going to benefit from hearing both stories that you've shared in episode 8 and episode 9. I'm looking forward to seeing what's next for you in football, and I'm sure that partnership between DDB96 and R90
is going to happen.
It's going to be coming to your screens very soon.
Save the video.
Romeu, pleasure having you.
Me too. And I want to say thank you for everyone who's watching us, and thank you to you to the opportunity to start to talking about my history. Okay, thank you for that one is making the behind the camera. She's
the wizard behind it.
Very,
behind
very
the scenes.
good. Yes, a very good setup, and that's all. I hope you're enjoying hearing about my life, and let's go for it.
See you later, guys.
Bye bye. Ciao ciao.